boys and girls, it's Miss Reynolds with Board Better Off Reading Every Day. Today I have a good one for you on Poetry Friday, which is also the first day of the year. So Happy New Year, Happy 2021. And we are celebrating with a nice poetry book on Poetry Friday with Little Boy Debbie and myself, of course, in our jammies. This book is a collection of poetry by Halsey, and it's called I Would Leave Me If I Could. A collection of poetry by Halsey. I would leave me if I could. To my mother, my favorite writing I've ever read will always be the pages of your journal I used to sneak into my room late at night. I only ever wanted to grow up and love with such a passion as you did. For Professor Bradford, I loved writing in your class so much that I dropped out to go love it intensely. And for the fans, my capacity to feel has been stretched and molded with each piece of your souls that you reveal to me. I offer this in return. Due date. I was born 5 weeks early. I couldn't wait to join the rest of the world, and that is exactly the moment my enthusiasm ceased. The nurses tried to take me so my mother could sleep, but she refused to let me go. I'm sure ultimately I ended up in a common room for newborns. And I'm sure ultimately I lay there comparing myself to the other babies, wondering if I were as smart as they were, or as funny, or as beautiful. The average baby weighs 8 pounds. I weighed 5. The average baby is 20 inches long. I was 14. And it was on my first day on earth that I realized I didn't measure up, and I never would. Due date. I want to be a writer. It is not a want. It is not a wish. It's simple. A demon waiting at the foot of your bed to grab your ankles while you sleep. It's burrowing into your ear and laying eggs behind the socket of your eye. It's sitting in your own filth for days, staring at the shower across the room while minutes before hours. It's 6 months since you've talked to your dad, and the whining like an infant to your lover, begging to be split-shined like a piece of silverware. I have given so much to the page. Please tell me I am not worthless. It is not a desire. It is clenched jaw and aching back in disposition despite everything around you, to find the world not worthy of your words, and to find yourself unworthy of the world. It is towering arrogance that says, let these pages be free in an existence that will cherish and worship them. It is terrible self-loathing that sends your teeth sinking into your lips. It's a gut punched out and shoulders slumped, and a sneaking suspicion that everything you see is altered through your gaze. They cry, but I want to be a writer, and my head hangs. You are asking to be shot square in the head. You know not what you seek. You ask for bleeding brains and carnage that stains your pillowcase. You ask for jelly in the place of cartilage in your spine. You ask for kindness that is never returned. You wish to burn alive in the flame of love unrequited. It's simple, right? Homemaker. Listen to that cool, cool water run. Never been good at being alone, so say, Holy Father, where's your daughter? She could not make this house a home. You got a new closet. Never been good at saving cash. Chrome on the faucet, and you bossed it. I've never seen you on the counter before. Listen to that cold, cold winter blow. Never had time for absolutes. New steam shower for the powder. His and her sinks, but just for you. You got a brand new bedroom. A clean set of sheets I've never seen. Thread counts pricey for your wifey. I know she doesn't make the bed like me. Never seen a Persian rug look so homey. Never heard a sadder voice. That when you phone me, are you lonely? You said it's time for some renovations, time for conversation, but I flipped houses bigger than you before. Enjoy the silence in your kitchen. Been watering all the plants made of plastic, and you think they'll grow. Homemaker, shiny new things, but they're all for show. Summer fruit. I spent springs and summers as a child eating the fruit from a watermelon, grainy, sugary bites, and juice slicked my cheeks like Chelsea smile. My mother used to warn me if I swallowed a seed, it would get stuck in my belly and grow a watermelon plant. My stomach would expand till I'd combust. I always spit them out in horror. I spent a spring and summer eating fruit from the flesh of your lips, the bounty of two round mouths, hard like pink sugar. Your grip on my cheeks, with firm hands holding my mouth open to drop seeds into my belly, to spit a virus in my throat, to grow into a giant you plant, the branches crawling up the walls of my insides and begging to claw my mouth open and make me say things I don't mean. The dying leaves flaking off and swaying to the pit of my stomach in an imaginary breeze, landing with defeating thump. Echoes that bounce up between my teeth and remind my tongue there is no more watermelon, just empty space. I am angry because of my father. I am angry because of my father, because he would come home wrinkled from work and slam the door so hard the house would shiver. I am angry because of my father, because his furrowed brow repeats itself in my Punnett square and opens the curtains on my forehead. I am angry because of my father. I can hold a grudge like it's a hand. I throw my watch at my nightstand. I am worthless smudge on the floor, in the rug, in the kingdom of Almighty God, who will judge me as hard as she can, 'cause I won't love a man unless he is angry because of my father. I am angry because of my father. Wish you the best. I hope every single day you put your socks on backwards. I hope you cry at night and can't call me after. I don't hope you'll die, just live to 75, and you spend every waking moment wishing you felt alive. I hope that some girl takes a picture of you sleeping, wishing you could go single week and not hurt anybody. I hope your coffee every morning is bitter and cold. I hope your busy Christmas morning and you wish the snow. I hope your team loses the finals. I mean, they already lost the finals, but the next one. I hope you scratch up all your vinyls. I hope you drive 80 miles in your expensive car and run out of gas in the wild. I hope your knees ache, your back hurts. Hope you lose your second phone and cannot remember the password. I hope every girl unites and they decide you're a joke. But if they're not anything like you, then I know they won't, 'cause their self-esteem levels are fatally low. So you bury your pain. Wish you the best. After the show, I hope your brother turns out to be nothing like you. Hope another year passes and you hurt even more than I do. Used to live up the streets from you. But since then I moved. My new house is clean and the sky's always blue. I sing in the shower, I walk around. I love my body, though once made me hate it. I eat lots of pancakes and drown them in honey. I've made lots of handshakes and made lots of money. I smile and sigh when I crawl into bed, 'cause there's no more scar tissue inside my head. I heard what you're up to. I'm glad that I left. I feel like myself again, deep in my chest. Signed sincerely, Ashley. I wish you the best. I wish you the best. The question. I stand before the mirror and examine, protruding forth from my chest, demanding kindness, free ice cream. My speckled face, freckled pale, brown organic eggs, flushed pink, my eyebrows unkept and short hair untidy. At the crown, I grip, dissatisfied. The question. I met a mind reader. I have not seen the sun in 7 days. I have seen Frankfurt, Oslo, Copenhagen. 5 countries, one planet, just Earth. No stars, just cloud, and no sun. Earth is bleaker in the dark, the gray hazy dark, the upside down and sleepless dark. Not the romantic kind that fills gaps in between city lights and candlelit dinners and moonlight bouncing off crystal glasses filled with champagne and lipstick stains. I sat on an old bus, packed in like crowded teeth in young mouth. I saw a little girl. She frowned at me. I began to panic. They say children can sense dread. This is the first child who hasn't smiled when I cast glance in their direction. Has my heart, once so full of love, finally drained itself like a yellow raisin? Will the children begin to notice? She looks at me quizzically and smiled, kicks her feet, and then shakes her head no, as if to answer my question. I met a mind reader, age 4 or 5. I have seen lights burst forth from magic eye, from the heart more wholesome than mine. Astronomic miracles in an unfathomable form, but I still haven't seen the sun. That's a beautiful one. I met a mind reader. That would be my favorite. And I'll tell you why. Maybe because it's about a small child. It says, I sat on an old bus packed like crowded teeth in a young mouth. I saw a little girl. She frowned at me. I began to panic. They say children can sense dread. This is the first child who hasn't smiled when I cast a glance in their direction. Has my heart, once so full of love, finally drained itself like a yellow raisin? With a will the child begin to notice? She looks at me quizzically and smiles, kicks her feet, and then shakes her head no, as if to answer to my question. I met a mind reader. I meet a lot of those mind readers, Sue Halsey, between ages 4 or 5. I do. I'm with you there. I haven't seen light burst forth from a magic eye, from a heart more wholesome than mine. Astronomic miracles in an unfathomable form, but I still haven't seen the sun. Beautiful. Yep. I met a mind reader age 4 or 5. She kicked her feet and then shaked her head to say no. She looked at me quizzically and smiled. They have a way of looking at you. Yes. With that smile. Yes. Halsey, I see you, I hear you. I get where this poem is going, and thank you. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure to bring this book to you. I do not own the rights to this book or any of the books that I read to you, but I do love storytelling magic, and I love the magic of bringing poetry to you on Poetry Fridays, and this was the book that I chose today. I actually bought this with a gift card that I was given by one of my friends, and inside the card it says, buy something for B.O.R.E.D. So I did. I bought this book, a collection of poetry by Halsey. I would leave me if I could. Thank you, Halsey, for a beautiful book. And boys and girls, it is about the time that little Debbie and I say to you, we are so glad to see you today in the new year. Thank you so much for joining us for Poetry Fridays. You know, we are always here on Poetry Fridays reading poems, and we are usually in our pajamas or night gear. Today, she's wearing her pajamas, her nightgown, and her slippers. I'm wearing my dog slippers. I don't know if you could see them. These guys with the floppy ears. So silly. And a slip, a little bustier, and a robe. And want to say to you, I hope that you are doing something in the new year that brings you absolute joy. I hope that you will make this the year that you are a bucket filler, which means showing love and filling up someone's bucket. So why don't you get a jump on that? Go out there and do something nice for someone. Do it for absolutely no reason at all. Because why? We don't need a reason to be nice. We just can be. And thank you again, boys and girls, for letting this be my 601 book. Yesterday, actually it's my 602 book. Sorry. Yesterday, I read my 600th book, and earlier today, I read this book for the New Year's, which is my 601st book. So 601 and 602. And I did it all with you. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.